Hello, and welcome to today's video on the Google Hashcode competition. Today's video is going to be in 3 parts. At first, I'm going to explain what the Google Hashcode competition is for those who are not familiar. Then I'm going to talk about my solution to the practice problem that got me a score of over 702 million. Finally, I'm going to share tips and tricks that I've collected over the past 2 years of participating in this coding competition. So, let's begin. What is Google Hashcode competition? It's an annual coding competition that occurs every February. The first round is online. It's called the qualification round, and then the other rounds were supposed to happen at Google, but this year, because of, it's going to be fully virtual. For those interested, there is a website for Google's coding competitions. Hashcode is just one of them. There is CodeJam, there's Kickstart that I have not actually participated in any of them, but I have participated in Hashcode since 2019. Hashcode has been around for a while. There are a bunch of rules that you have to follow. You have to have a team of 2 to 4 people. There is a time frame for registration, as you see. Registration for online qualifications end on February 25th. You have to be at least 16 years old. There is no upper age limit, but there is a lower age limit. There is no fee to participate. You have to create a profile in the coding competition Google website, and you can join a hub, but you don't have to. Hubs used to be a physical place where people would meet up. The past 2 years, I created a hub in my city, and it was in a university, and we would all gather, eat, stay there up until late because of our time zone. But again, this year it's fully virtual, but you can host a hub if you're over 18. It's fun seeing other people because a team has to be no more than 4 people. So when your friends are in one hub, you get to compete and it makes it more fun. Like I said, you can register and join your team before February 25th. Later than that, you're not allowed to participate. Your team can have a name, and the name of the team is the thing that's going to be on the scoreboard when the online qualification round comes around. After you register, you have access to the judge system. There, you need to make sure you're a part of a team, because if you're not allowed to participate. Then, you have access to the practice round problem statement, which is what we are here to talk about. Part 2, the problem statement. The problem statement is always published quite early, so you can practice and learn about what to expect on the day of the online qualification round. If you look at the problem statement, here's something fun. Last year, the problem statement was called More Pizza. I'm guessing the year before that it was just pizza. And now it's even more pizza. I'm going to go through this and explain parts that are important in my opinion. I'm sure you can access this PDF file yourself and go through it fully. The sad part is this is about where you gather with your friends and order pizza, but this year's Hashcode is going to be virtual, so you can order pizza, no problem, and no need to share with anyone. I guess that's the good part. Isn't it fun to share pizza with friends? No, it's not. But sometimes you just don't have enough time to choose what pizza to order. Wouldn't it be nice if someone else chose for you? In an imaginary world, Hashcode is about to start. What are we going to order? Pizza. And then we have an algorithm that helps us choose. So, it says, help the imaginary pizzeria choose the pizzas to deliver to Hashcode teams. And since we want everyone to enjoy their food, let's try to deliver to each team. Expecting many hungry customers, the pizzeria has already prepared some pizzas with different ingredients. Each pizza can be delivered to at most 1 team. There can be multiple pizzas with the exact same set of ingredients. So, this is an example problem. The example problem has a set of inputs that we can take and then do something with it and have an output. That's almost every problem in Hashcode. So, We have 5 types of pizzas that are available. Each of them have a list of ingredients on it. Sometimes the list of ingredients are identical but ordered differently. We are going to deliver them to teams. We have a goal, that's the most important part, but let's read the whole document so that we don't miss anything. We have teams of 3 to 4 people, like a normal hash code competition. Each team ordered 1 pizza per team member. In other words, each person gets a pizza within the teams, but did not specify what ingredients to put on the pizza. The pizzeria may not deliver to a team, no pizza are sent to that team. What it's saying is, a team may get no pizzas, and that's okay. However, if the order is delivered, exactly 1 pizza should be available per person. If within a team we say this team has gotten pizza, that means everybody in that team has 1 pizza. If one of them doesn't get one, don't give it to anybody within that team. For example, it is an error to send 3 pizzas to a 4-person team. The most important part of the problems are the goals, what gives you the score. So, given the description of pizzas available, 5 types of pizzas, the number of teams of 2 to 4 people that have ordered decide which pizzas to send to each of the teams. The goal is to maximize per team the number of different ingredients used in all their pizzas. This is a really important part. We got some other rules, but the most important part is within a team, make sure everybody gets a bunch of ingredients, not a team of 2 people get pizzas that are exactly the same. So, for example, if we deliver to a 3-person team pizzas 0, 2, and 3, there will be 7 different ingredients. These are the pizzas. 9 ingredients in total, but pepper and mushroom occur twice. So we don't count duplicate ingredients for the score. Now, finally, we get to see the input data set. What data we get from Google that we have to process and have an output. The input data is provided as a dataset file, a plain text file containing exclusively ASCII characters with lines terminated with a single new line character. What this is saying is, you'll see. It's fine if you're not sure what this is saying, but it's saying that within the input file, there are lines that are separated by inter, such as this one. This is line 1, the other one is line 2, and so on. File format. The first line of the input file contains the following integer numbers separated by single spaces. So we have a bunch of numbers separated by spaces. Let's look at this and then read this. So bunch of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first number, M, could be 1 or 100,000. And that is the number of pizzas available in the given pizzeria. The number after that is T2. And then T3 and T4. These are number of teams of that n number. For example, there could be 0 to 50,000 teams of 2 people or 3 people or 4 people. The next M lines describe the pizzas available. Each line contains, separated by space, an integer, a number that is called I, that is between 1 and 10,000. And that is the number of ingredients. There can be 10,000 ingredients. Amazing. Followed by the list of I ingredients. Each ingredient consists of lowercase ASCII letters and dash characters. And its length can be between 1 and 20 characters in total. Each ingredient in a pizza is different, but the same ingredient can appear on different pizzas. These details are important when you're writing code. For example, knowing that it's no more than 20 characters is important for maybe a language. That may be not that important for the language that you're using, but the details are necessary for someone. We read through this. We are seeing our input file. This is saying there are 5 pizzas. We have a team that consists of 2 people, a team of 4 people, and 2 teams of 3 people. Then we have, as it says, 0, pizza 1, pizza 2 to 4. They all have this number of ingredients, and then the ingredient is listed out for you, separated by space. Then what we can submit, the output file, should look like this. We can read through this to understand this. It says, the first line should contain a number that is less or equal to the total number of teams, meaning how many deliveries have been made. Then The following lines contains description of each delivery. Each line contains the following integer number separated by a single space. How many people are in the team, and then the index of the pizzas that are delivered. If we look at the example above, 5 pizzas, these are the teams, this is the pizza. Let's try to solve this on our own. How many people are here? This is 2 people. This is 2 times 3 people, that's 6, and then that's 4 people. In total, that's 9 people. We have only 5 pizzas. So, what's the best choice of delivering pizzas to teams where everybody gets a pizza? If we give it to the team of 2 people, we have 3 pizzas left. Then, we'll give it to a team of 3 people, and we have no more pizzas left. So, a team of 3 people and a team of 4 people will get no pizzas, but we have given out all of our pizzas, and that's a success. A thing that we have to consider is the ingredients, because our goal was to get different ingredients to people within the same team. How do we do that? If we give this to a person, then we give this to the person that's in the same team, we're all good. We just have to make sure that 2 people in a team will not get pizza 1 and pizza 3. This is how we solved it by just looking at it. We have to convert that to code, right? How we get scores is, first of all, when you try to submit, you may get some errors. For example, when we had 4 teams, if you say 10, that's going to be an error. Or if you write a number that is not the number of pizzas, again, you're going to get errors. If the number of lines after the first line doesn't match this number, you're going to get an error, and so on. Something that's important is knowing what you get scored for. If you focus on optimizing something that then is not important and doesn't give you better scores, then it's wasting time for a competition. So what's going to give us scores is, for each delivery, the delivery score is the square root of the total number of different ingredients of all the pizzas in the delivery. So different ingredients is what matters. The total score is the sum of the scores for all the deliveries. For example, with the example input file, the example submission file above, there are 4 ingredients delivered to the 2-person team. The score is 4 squared. 7 ingredients delivered to the 3-person team. The score is 7 squared. And the score is 0 for teams that didn't get delivered. So deliver as many pizzas as possible. Make sure that the people within one team get different ingredients. You're golden. Today, I wanted to try and solve this year's Hashcode's problem statement for the practice round. I have participated in Hashcode for the past 2 years. In the first year in 2019, I got 0. Last year, my team was able to get a good score. We didn't qualify for the final round or anything, but it has been an awesome experience. I wanted to open the problem statement for the first time right now, right here. I solved the 2020's practice round myself, so I want to see if I can do that again. If I can't, no matter. Alright, we are downloading the PDF file. Let's read it and see what it is about. Oh my god, even more pizza. Last year it was more pizza. The year before that it was just pizza. Sadly, I don't have last year's solution. If I had it, I would have shared it and I would have talked about my solution for the problem, but I did not save it on any cloud platform and now I've lost it. So let's start. We are opening a new console application. Let's name it Even More Pizza. Alright, we have an empty program. The first thing that I'm going to do is read the input file and have a function for creating the output file. So the easiest way for me to do this is to Google it. Honestly, I'm going on Stack Overflow and saying reading and writing a TXT file. So reading a TXT file C#. Stack Overflow is my favorite website. I like this one because it looks nice. Okay. I will give myself about 2 hours to solve this. The actual competition is 4 hours. So you have to time yourself in the practice round, and you can use anything, things that help you be faster. For example, I am going to have a read input file method that takes a string, and let's create this method. Thank you. The string is the file path. File name is going to be this. We are going to... Okay, things are going somewhere. Even though I said the read and write should be your first priority, another thing that should be your priority is, if you're using an object-oriented programming method, you should know what type of object, the class that you want to create, that should be in your mind. It could be the first thing you do. For me, the first thing I do is read and write, because I've had issues with that before. Output file. For now, this is, let this be on our to-do list, because even the read should read your object. Everything is going to be in the same space. I am too lazy to create other files, but let's create a class that is, let's call it Even More Pizza for now. I haven't thought it through very much. All right. Okay. Okay. So in the PDF file, it told us what it's giving us. It told us some variables that are really important. One of the variables, number of available pizzas. We can have it be available pizzas. We can have T2, T3, T4. These are actually good names, but the M makes no sense for me. Then we are going to create the list. Let's create these ones first. We have an integer that is available pizza. The other one is team of 2 people, and 3 and 4 people. Okay, so now we know how many pizzas we have. We know the number of team of 2 people, 3 people, and 4 people. The final part of the input file is a list of integer and string. The list is of another class I think I have to create. So the class is going to be pizza ingredients. Now, what does it have? It has first an integer that is number of ingredients. Then we have a list of strings, just double checking, followed by a list of ingredients which consists of letters, now this list is of pizza ingredients. We can just call it pizza ingredients. I'm not going to initialize anything. I could have constructors. CTOR. I know that. I had to Google the shortcut. I forgot. It's CTOR, double tap. I'm going to have it have everything. T2, T3, T4, and finally the last thing, which I'd have to prepare before. I think I'm being really bad at explaining things, but I'm also trying to be nice. We are just initializing when we create the input file. By the way, be careful with silly mistakes, like small mistakes, not really silly, but they happen a lot. Forgetting to change one of these and then not knowing where the problem is. One of my least favorite types of mistakes that I make. Alright, we have a constructor here. Let's have our own constructor here as well. ctor. All right, double tab. An integer. And then the final, there we go. And the last one. All right. This is bothering me. I'm going to rename it. Control R is the shortcut. Nice. Okay, so we have objects ready, classes ready. We can tell this fella that I want it to be a list of even more pizzas. And I can call it even more pizza. Or more pizzas. No, that wouldn't be fair. This is this year's. Yes, thank you. Obviously error, so let's tell you to not be a void. And now we have an error of where's the return? So let's create our objects that read from our input files. We have one object of even more pizza. Let's call it EMP. Our EMP is a new even more pizza. Now, the constructor needs things. I need to think for a bit, and the thinking is I would find it quite useful if I saw the indices, because I know the first is different from the others. I think I'm going to use this one now. We're changing our mind. I want this red thing to go away. To do that, I'm going to have a list of even more pizzas where EMP list is just... Am I allowed? Yes, I am. Perfect. I can say return this even though it's empty. It's not going to be red. Great! So it assumes this is solved. It's not really solved. Now, let's read these. I am going to say if. I don't like this. Plus. There we go. I'm going to say if I is 0. This can be outside. It doesn't really matter. We are going to read certain things. I'm guessing this is a string array. It says it's just one string. So if you are just one string and not a string array, I want you to line.split by, we know that it's split by space. It should be character, shouldn't it? Sorry. There we go. Now that we have you split by space, I know each of this should be one of the integers. So for each var, what do I call it? Setting? Let's call it setting. In the first line, I am going to get I did not promise my code to be clean in the get-go. So let's have integer. We had available pizzas. We had T2, T3, and T4. The first one, why did I have it for each? An actual, yeah, this one is better because I know what is where. Let's put this somewhere. This is var f line. This is our first line. In our first line, dot length. Oh, let's call you the most original thing, J. Is that fair for me to loop through this? It's not, but we are going to talk about this in a sec. We were told that almost always, no matter this file size, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. If we see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that you are available pizzas. Are you a string? So please try to not be a string. Okay. We have T2, T3, T4, and then we have 1, 2, because these are the subsequent ones in this. I don't want this to happen because it's going to happen once, but I don't want it to be here. I want it to be outside of this because line is still here. We know that the first one has this, so we don't need this if. What we do need is to tell the loop to leave the first line, start from 1. We already have the first line. Thank you very much. Okay, so we already have our A pizza. We have our T2, T3, and T4. What we don't have is the list. The list is going to be within this loop, so we don't need this to be in the loop as well. Why did I want it to be a list? You need initialization. You need new. For now, this is what I want you to do. Oh, of course, unassigned. Sorry. Let's have our ingredients read. What is the file going to look like? It's just a string and an integer and a string. Did I forget you? A list of pizza ingredients. Aw, Pink is a cute name. Is going to be filled here. We are going to have pizza ingredients. So let's call this pizza ingredients. Multiple pings. One ping here. And you are going to be... The first one is going to be an integer. The rest is going to be var... Let's call it lines. Other lines. Naming man. Dot split the in... Is it not? Of course. I. Dot split. We are splitting by space. Now, other lines is, this is one line. It's an array string. We know that this is the integer. Can I say other lines? This doesn't happen here. Nope, nope, nope. Why am I stuck? I am here right now. I am taking the first... I got this one. Now for the others. How do I take a range out of this? I have no idea. Let's ask Stack Overflow. String array range C#. Oh, okay, link. Yes. We are using link, so I can say skip and take. Okay, so this already exists. I think we can tell this little fella to skip 1 and to list. I hope this works. Our pings are going to need to add our little ping. Okay, I'm going to test this before I go any further, and when things don't work out, I'm going to lose it, so let's not do that. Again, our list, we don't need a list, no. So that was an error on my part. We can just return this. I don't need a list here as well. Let's see if input works. I'm creating a folder next to the program. Call it input file. I'm going to put my example in there and see if it can read it. I also have another set, but for now I am happy with the example. I have the path ready, but also I need the file name. Oh, I should actually have let's just have the file name here. File name. The first one is just called example. .in. Let's run our file. Alright. I have nothing outputted because I just want to see if it works. So, can it read it? No. Okay, I'm going to put it in debug if you want me to. Is that good practice? Who cares? Alright. Let's see. Look at this. Okay, we have line 1. Let's watch it being read. A pizza, yes. Awesome, perfect. Why, how many are there? 4? Oh, that's my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Alright, next. Let's continue. First other line, awesome. Our ping now has a number that's correct, and in here, great! Our ping is correct. Let's continue and look at our even more pizzas. This is great, and this here is just amazing. Our input is correct. We haven't even thought of how we want to solve it, but we know that we can read it. Now, let's be sure that we can write it. I am almost an hour in. FYI. Okay, I'm going to create this. Before I do that, I'm going to fix this little mistake of mine here. I could set up cautionary steps of checking if they're null or not, but I have faith in Google. Okay, write txt file, C#. I'm going to delegate my thinking as much as possible. Create to write. Yes, thank you. We want an object is required to static. All right. I'm going to use, yeah, the path is the same. So let's give it a better name. After the path, let's call it output. Output, output dot txt. And this is the thing that is going to go there. So let us give it, the output file is supposed to look like this. Do I need an object for this? Delivered pizza, the type of team, and the pizzas delivered. I think I'm going to create a class for this so that it's in my head. Let's call this output or something. Output file. First one is number of delivered pizzas. Next is a list. Yes. Alright, our prop is a list of an integer and a list of integers. Integer, list of integers. Integer, list of integers. Team, type, pizza, indices. Am I right about that part? Yes, pizza numbers. Team type, pizza number. What do we call this? Let's see what it calls it. Followed by list of pizzas of each delivery. Alright, let's call it a delivery. We have a class that's called delivery. our delivery class has two things. One is a list of integers. No, wait, it's just one integer. So let's have a property. An integer that is the team type. The other one is a list of pizza entities, which we just call it pizza for now. I think that's great. And now a list of delivery, we call that delivery. All right. Our output file in the output method is going to be, let's say, for example, we have an output file here. Okay. Our output contains, first thing is the number of delivered pizza. The next thing is a loop. I think a for each would be nice here because I don't need to know what is each index of. Yes, all right. var op in output dot delivery. That's the list. In that list, we can give our output text. We are going to build upon it. op dot. First, we are going to want the team type. After that, we are going to want a space. And then the list of pizzas with spaces. Now that's already a list. What do? We say string dot concatenate, put them together. We have the list of pizzas. That should have been plural. What do we concatenate them with? Is it the other way around? I don't think so. Okay. So this should be ready. Let's assume we have an output file, even if it's empty. We don't have constructors for it, so it's not going to ask anything from us. I am an hour in and I have my input and output files ready. I have not tested this, so I can go ahead and say not tested. The other one has been tested, and I'm sure it can read my files for me. Let's solve this. What do we want? Let's think, because I wasn't thinking up until now, I think. Let's open our PDF file. Let's have a sip of coffee. We go back to the goal. It is what gives us the score given the description and the number of teams of 4 people that have ordered. Decide which pizzas to send to each of the teams. The goal is to maximize per team the number of different ingredients used in all the pizzas. The first thing you should do is try to solve for the example file because I understand what's in there. So I'm going to put my example file. I think this is fair. Okay. So if I want my example file to look like the output, how do I solve it? First, I look at the number of pizzas and I look at, I'm going to do this brute force for now. I'm going to add up the number of people in the teams, and when I reach to the number of pizzas, I'm going to stop and get the team types and which pizzas I'm giving them. For now, I don't care what type of pizza it is. I just want it to work brute force. So let's have a method that's called pizza how do I write the word delivery? There we go. Pizza delivery, where we take the input file and we give you the output file. Okay, let's create this method. Let's have an example output file ready. And say return it. Okay, let's loop through. Oh no, first we have our number of available pizzas, so let's loop through for I. Our end is number of available pizzas. Wait, what? No. Okay. For this one we have 5, and we're lucky to have had 5. But here there are 500 pizzas, and the other files shouldn't be like this. Other files may not be readable for a human person like me. So we're looping through. I think the thing that they want us to optimize is the ingredients, obviously, that they are not duplicated. Okay, so we're looping through this. So pizza I, right? Wait, where's my ingredients list? Where are my ingredients? Is it not public? Ah, sorry. Are we okay? My ingredient list. The ingredients has... So this is the first pizza. For example, if we look at the example again, if I say I, assuming it's the first one, the 0th index, we are again right here. Let's say I want this for our teams right now. How do I think about my teams? Okay, so let's give all the pizzas to the biggest team, which is team 4. This is not going to do me favors in this example, but the other examples may be. We have 2, 3, and 4. If I just say total people, I don't need to loop through anything for that. Is T1 is the team of 2, team of 3, and team of 4. Why do I want to know the total people? So that I can... Now we are in the output file. I want... Do I know the pizza type here? Team type, okay. So, take away from these until the 2 one is 0, and then the 3 one, and then the 4 one. In our output file, we say... I just lost my train of thought. Okay. In the output file, we want the number of pizzas delivered. So if this is delivered, we are saying dot delivered pizza plus 1 equals, yeah. Okay, so we're adding 1 to delivered pizza. Let's initialize it as 0 to be sure that it's not any other number. So this is a delivered pizza. How do we know if a pizza is not delivered? I'm not sure. Again, we're just brute forcing through the list. Now, I want to give it to the team of 2 people. When I give it to the team of 2 people, 2 pizzas are gone. So I say, if team of 2 people is not 0, because we are subtracting from this, say that the number of delivered pizza is increased by 2 because it's given to 2 people. and we are giving a pizza there. And when we do that, we have to also say, what do I want from you again? I have to put you in the output file. I'll have to say I plus 2 as well. Before I do that, let's finish team of 2 people, and then I'm going to copy this to the other teams. In the output file, can I check again? Delivered pizza, check. Delivery pizza ingredients, no. Pizza indices, right? And the team type. Okay, so let's check for team type first. Where were we? Oh, this is the team type. So output file dot delivery. Let's create a list of deliveries outside so that we can append it to our deliveries. Thank you. New list, yes, and yes. Okay. Here are deliveries dot, it's a list. Add. First thing we are adding. Oh, okay. I need to create a constructor here that contains team type and a list of pizza indices, which then there we go. Okay. Now, team type is right now, we just give it the number, right? 2 and 3. 2-person team, 3-person team. So this is a 2-person team. We are giving you the number 2. For the list of pizzas, you don't have an ID, do you? Let's create you an ID. You need an ID so that I know what is your index. We call you ID. Very, very straightforward. And that's it. We need to... Let's check where we are giving value to this in read file. Here is read. Pizza ingredients. I should check my constructor. I am not a good explainer, am I, right now? I am just thinking out loud, which I think is a way of explaining things, but it's definitely not the best way. Okay, I've found where I need to have my ID. And that is I. But is it just I? No, it's I minus 1 because according to this, it takes 0. Okay. Now that I have my ID, I can give you my ID. Is that it? Okay. What is happening? Am I missing something? What is a list of IDs? You're one ID. You need a list of IDs. Why am I lost again? Okay, so what we're doing here is we are looping through our available pizzas. We are giving the team of 2 people. Of course, we are giving them the first 2 pizzas. So let's create a list of integers, which is, what do we call it? Pizza indices, right? Pizza index. We have you, and then the one after you, plus 1. And now I can have my indices. Okay, so this is for 2 people. I'm going to write else because I don't want it to overlap. I don't want pizzas to go to 2 places at once because that's going to be an error. That's going to cost me scores. So for the 3, we are going to do almost everything the same way. I can have this outside. Everything exactly the same way. I only need this to say 3, 3, and 3. And again, else if I'm going to duplicate this for a team of 4 people. And this is going to be 2 instead of 1. Careful. 2. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 4. 4 and 4. Okay, I am going to test. Before I do that, we have deliveries. Is the delivery put into our output file? It is not. It should be done right here because right. Give me a second. How do I give you deliveries? Get and set. I can set it. So let's just say instead of that, I can just say equals that. Awesome. Oh, sorry, what did I just do? I meant to do that. Okay, let's test this. We are testing everything right now. First, we are going to test this with the example file. I'm going to trust the read input file and only read the last thing. And then we're going to solve it. So let's put there we go. Okay, reading F10 our EMP has everything normal. All right, now we are going to deliver our pizzas. How many people's? Really? That makes no sense. How's it? That's total of teams. Okay. We have 5 available pizzas, yes. Team of 2. Did I take away from this? I did not. I am going to stop this program. Now, let's do this correctly. I don't know why I need this number, but I need this number in my head. And this is 3 people. Finally, a team of 4 people. I forgot to take 1 away from this because a team has been given their pizza. That's what it means. So we say minus equals 1. Oh, what did I just do? I have no idea. Minus equals together. Minus equal. There we go. 1 is taken away from here, and 1 is taken away from everywhere because we are delivering for a team, not the number of people. 3 and finally 4. Okay, I can run it again and see what's happening. Okay, we are sure here. I'm going to continue. Okay, continue. And now let's move here normally. Total people, 12. Thank you. Okay, now I is 2 because it was 0 first. And now 0 and 1 have been taken, so 2. We no longer have team of 2 people. We have team of 3 people. I think this is good. I have to check for I. You are 5. You were... How many pizza ingredients do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. Do I not tell you to add? Do I need to, instead of 2, make it another number? Because it already adds when it's coming? This is weird. If I is not 0, I minus 1. Do I need to do this? I feel weird about this. And if it works, I'm going to run away and okay. Now we are at the second team. I is gone back down to 1. Oh, that's actually true. Okay, so now this works. Team of 3 people. Now I should have preventative measure, even though this is done. What does the output file look like? Yes, 5 pizzas. Delivery is null? What is that? Makes no sense. I delivered pizzas, but I forgot to give it the pizza delivery. Am I that tired? Okay, now let's have some preventative measures, which are this. I'm not going to have them yet. Okay. Yes, and okay, let's check. We have 2 deliveries. The pizzas are 2 and 4, and these pizzas are 1 and... Okay, yeah, that's 5 pizzas. Great, let's see you write it. Okay, create text. We have a... Why is there an R here? And then 1, 2... Uh-oh. That's a mistake. The pizza is a list of integers. So why can't you concatenate that for me? Team type is also an integer. Why are we having problems here? Let's see what this looks like. Delivered pizza. Okay. I believe this to work, but apparently it doesn't, and I'm not happy about it. Continuing, moving on, coming to the writing. I changed absolutely nothing. In OP, I have team type of 2 pizzas, which is... Okay, what does this look like? We have the 2, but we do not have the concatenated list of integers. Because this is not an... This is surprising. Oh, do I have to say to list? If that's the reason, I'm going to be not happy. Because why would I say to list if it's already a list? I don't want you to be a list. I do want you to be toString. It's not going to work. It's not supposed to, is it? Now I don't want this to work. Now I'm mad at it. Okay. Still does not work. Okay. Concatenate integer list C#. Okay, let's use join. Ah, okay, sure, that makes more sense now. So we tell the string to still we have a problem. String.join. But that's the whole point. Oh, okay, pal. String join. Let's hope that your version works. Because I was just duped by an already... Wait, string.join the delimiter, separator, yes. And I have an extra. Okay, let's hope this one works. Two and yay. Okay. And then the right. And then let's check it. We have an output file. Let's open it. Okay, we are missing one thing, and that one thing is an end of line. Good that we are checking this. We can copy this because we are lazy, or you can write it yourself because you are not as lazy as I am. Okay, this is ready. I am going to run the example once again. It's going to overwrite it, and it doesn't matter. I should name it better. Huh? What happened? Did I run it twice? Okay, output file. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's name it a better name. I'm going to take the file name outside so that I can use it. There are better ways to run everything, but I want to run every single file with my own hands. You can just call it. I am going to put this in the judge system for the example. I think I can do that. Yes, create a new submission. Source code. Example file is right here. It's fine if the others are left empty. Let's see if we get any points. We have an error. Total team count found 5, but should be between 0 and 1 at line 1. Okay, it's good that we have an error. 0, 1, 2, 3. That's 5. Do we have 5 teams? 1. Oh, there are 4 teams. But this is team type. This is what you told me to give you. Let's see. The team of 3 people should have 3 pizzas, not 2. Why does the team of 3 people have 2 pizzas and not 3? Because I forgot to add more IDs. Alright, last test. Okay, the naming is like that. Perfect. Let's submit it. I want to be absolutely sure. Source code. I want to be absolutely sure that the example file works. Then I'm okay with starting with the actual sets. Okay. What? Are you serious? Oh, found 5. It should be. Why is this 5? Pizzas delivered to 2 teams. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Number of teams. Apparently, I got this one wrong. I don't need to set this here. I can count the delivery at the end. So output file dot delivery delivered pizzas is delivery dot size or length. Which one is it? It is length. It is count. That's it. Now I am ready. I say that every time with absolute certainty. Okay. Let's open this. Yes, we are sure now. We are even more sure than we were sure before, and we were pretty sure back then. How long have we been solving this? It has been 1 hour and 46 minutes of recording. I have not been solving it all the while. Let's say 1 hour and a half. Okay, I am absolutely ready. Give me some scores. 61 points. And now I'm going to test with B. I expect errors in the index part. I have to create some breaks where there isn't enough pizza, but I'm too lazy to do that. So let's copy the name. I'm going to be what is it called? Reactive. I'm not going to plan things in advance. I'm just going to solve it when the problem happens. For now, 500. I am too lazy to check. Thank you. Or just a human that can't check everything. So I should have put a try catch in there. You know what? Continue. There we go. What is the I? Okay, so here is my preventative measure. We are going to put a try catch in each of these ifs. And if there is an issue with this, we are going to continue. No, I wanted to go to the else. That's obvious. I can tell it too. If this worked, I want you to continue and going to the next one. But if it doesn't, check for the other one. Look at me thinking again. It happens once every blue moon. Okay, preventative measure taken. I wanted to do another thing. What was the other thing that I wanted to do? Try catches. Yep, that's what I wanted. And let's be nice to ourselves and put this error message out so that maybe we know what's happening. If we want to know what's happening, just error message, go. Okay, when I is at 500, how is output doing? How many pizzas have been delivered? Oh my god, that's not enough. That is absolutely not enough. What is happening? Output file, why would you do this to me? Wait, no, it's fine. Teams can be... Oh, what? What is I? I? Why are you that number? That's odd. Oh god, what's happening? I, are you alright? Ah, I'm taking away from it. Are you in an... Oh no, I am sorry, I. So, okay, thank you. So now, total does change. So if, look at me being smart again. If total people, wait, what's happening? So we had 2 pizzas left. So if total people is more than the number of delivered pizzas? I think it should be less. If it's less, break. Leave the loop. I should be inside the loop when I'm saying these things. Yes, leave the loop. When you leave the loop, you have to... Is this... Yeah, perfect. You have to check for that. This can be outside. You don't have to check that every time. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get ourselves out of that infinite loop that we had. Okay. So, I'm going to check for the total people. We have over 500. So I'm going to say continue. Now we have the error. This is at 5. Okay. I am going to continue that and hope that this if I have to, of course, I have to count it each time. Hello, people. Otherwise, that would make no sense. Really? That prevented that from happening? How many output files do we have? It's less. Oh no. I mean, I hope the output looks like something that is interesting. Probably too big for me to. Okay. So that just happened. Can I open this and see what it looks like? Okay. We have 150. Let's check if we get any scores or if there are errors in. We have to take every output, upload every output. If there are errors in the output files, there shouldn't be any errors, but if there are, it's okay, we can solve it. There we go. I had points. Interesting. What is the highest score that I could get? Now I need to know. So I'm going to take away everything here. I am going to actually keep this here. I'm going to keep that there, but remove all the other ones because I want to test each. This is not needed. Let's download other ones. Where are the problem statement? There we go. Many ingredients, many pizzas, and many teams. I'm going to, like I said, ABC. Run this program for every file. You can do this more efficiently, but it is not that many. And I want to actually submit each time. Or maybe not. Let's see. That was really fast. Is that because it's brute force? Okay. Oh, .in. Okay, and that didn't take that much time. Final file. My heart is in my throat. We have an error. That's amazing. Can you believe how happy you can be for an error? Yes, problem with index. Absolutely. Of course. So now total people. When we count them again, that is a lot of people. 0. Not 0. Again, not 0. So we can't give them to that because there isn't any. The ingredients just end. So I have to have a preventative measure for ingredients as well, because this is a never-ending loop, from what I gather. Yes, it is. Very interesting. So we could not run the last file. Let's check for our scores. We still want our scores to be checked while we are solving for the last file. I could not be any more happier when I saw the error, because I couldn't improve my score. I'd be too lazy to. Example output. A little bit of everything. B. C. D. Okay. From 6,000 to hopefully more than 6,000 points. That is a lot of numbers, and I still don't have the last. What is... Can I see other people's scores? I can't. What is that perfect score? Let's have preventative measures for our pizza ingredients, because there were 10,000, so I should have the same preventative measure that I'm having here. If there are more people left than there are ingredients, does that make sense? Wait, that's pizzas, right? That's number of pizzas, not ingredients. Anyway, same if, right? If the number of pizza ingredients dot count is less than number of people, also leave it be. Let's run this. We still have the file. What? Why are we going to the output? Is the input alright? E is still here. Run. Yes. 100,000 available pizzas. Continue. We are here. I'm going to put this here and there. Okay. Delivered pizzas is... What? Oh no! Because... Is it? It is less. Okay, so what was our problem? This is wrong. Interesting. I'm going to need to see the problem again to be able to solve it. Okay, so we have I is I and pizzas. Is that it? Instead of this, it's I? No, does that make sense? So when it tries, let's see where the loop is. Yes. +1 is possible. +2 is not possible. Now, I'm telling the I to go back. Here is a thing. I have another if, Mr. I. If I plus 3 is over your size is bigger than this, dot count, also break, and if I plus 4, I probably should do that after the minus. There we go. I think that is my problem. So if the index can't go further, do not let it go further. Isn't that fair? We have 46. That's just half. Is it? Okay, this one is taking its time. I don't mind it. I'll be back when it's done. Okay. It is ready to be submitted. Hello, judge system. Creating another submission, example file, yes, a little bit of everything. Actually, I think submitting our zip file first is beneficial so that when the loading happens, we are submitting the other files. Okay, now many ingredients. And then many pizzas, and finally many teams. I do not expect, okay, uploading. 142 million to 4 million. Look at this. This is doing fine. These two are doing horrible. I'll have to, what is the final point that I'm supposed to get? I think the solution may be around 1 billion, and now I'm at not even 200 million. I'm going to have to optimize, but it's really late. And I did tell myself that I'm going to give myself a time limit. It's only been 2 hours. I can work on this tomorrow for another 2 hours and hopefully change my score. Even if I don't, I'm going to post this because I tried. Well done me. Okay. Let's see if we come back tomorrow or not. Now that we have seen how I went through this and tried to solve it for the first time and used a brute force method where I just go through it without checking for anything and got a pretty decent score. It's better than my 2019 score. I wanted to explain my latest solution. We already saw the read input file. We also saw the output file. So I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just going to look at how I optimize this solution to get a better score. You've already seen the classes as well. This is a completely different method that I used. As you can see right here, some parts are recognizable, but I cloned this object. I didn't need it later on. So I used a method from Stack Overflow. We can look at it. I got the whole file from Stack Overflow and it does a pretty good job of copying this object. Around here, I did some calculations that I thought I'd need. So we already saw some of these and I wanted to see if all of team 4 can eat and then if I could also feed team 3 here as well. And if I fed team 3, how much would be left for team of 2 people and so on. I also added some outputs. At first I didn't. And it's useful when you are running a really big file because the last 2 files when I run the program, they take like 30 minutes. So knowing how many pizzas are left, knowing how many people in the team are left and stuff like that is useful because maybe you're not debugging your program, but the output is still there. I also recommend that you print out your errors so you don't have to run the program again each time. But I didn't do that. As you see, some of the calculations I used, some I didn't. Something that I did that is really useful is this method. Give me pizza. As you see, we are feeding the team of 4 people, and here I'm telling it to give me 4 pizzas. I'll go into that in a bit. When we have the list of pizzas returned, here it's a list of indices of the pizzas, we delete them. So each time I get 4 indices of pizzas, I add it to the list of delivery. That means one team of 4 people have been fed, and then I can print out what's happening. You can divide your printouts. I did that so that every 40 deliveries I get something on the console, but you could have it printed all out. For the bigger files, it's unintelligible. So if we look at the give me pizza method, you'll see that there are some parameters. This parameter is an empty list because I forgot to remove it, but this is the whole input file that we got from Google, and this is the archived pizza. So, looking at this, I'm going to hide this part. You'll see that it has many different parts, right? We have a total pizza ingredients. Then, how many of these ingredients are unique? What does that mean? Given our example, we know that mushroom has been repeated many times, tomato a bunch of times, basil a lot of times. So we know that the pizzas, this looks like hunger. We know that the list is not unique. So I wanted to know how many unique pizza ingredients are there so that I could loop through them. Something that I figured out pretty late but was really useful for me was to get a list of pizzas, and as you see I am getting it from the Even More Pizzas. You saw that I am deleting the pizza that's been delivered, so this is non-delivered pizza, what's left. What I'm doing here is grouping by number of ingredients, because what I found out while debugging was that I'm sorting it by number of ingredients. So there are a bunch of single ingredient files, and they're like a bunch of basils only. So I didn't want that to affect it. So I'm telling it to give me a bunch of pizzas where the ingredients are different. What does that mean? Let's look at this file. There are 18 pizza with only 1 basil, right? There are 19 ham onlys. I've sorted it by number of ingredients. So I'm telling it to give me one that has 1 ingredient, give me one that has 2, give me one that has 3, and so on. This is what the group by, order by number of ingredients does. And I'm telling it to give me one of each. All right. After that, I loop through my unique ingredients, and within a team, I have my type here. I'm checking that there are, this one was only issued for the first file. Let me show you. Here, number of unique ingredients was less than 4. There would be a case where the unique pizza count would be less because most of the pizzas were gone here in the Even More Pizza part. Because again, this keeps coming less and less as less are being delivered. And it would be less than the type of people. For example, we have a team that has 4 people. So when that happens, I have written a case for that. But if we look at this, I want to explain this and then we'd go back to that special case. All of this is for one team because I'm making sure that I'm getting exactly, let's say, 4 pizzas, and then I'm returning the list of indices. So I'm checking for the last ingredients of the person that just got a pizza within my team. So we have 4 people and person A got a pizza and now it's my turn. Let's say the person has got chicken and basil, right? And I want mine not to have one of those. So if I check this has basil. I won't get a score for that. So if I check this, it has chicken. So I have to do something that this is pretty unique, right? So how unique of a pizza do I want? I could tell it to be completely unique and then I'd run out of pizza very fast. I tried just to say 2. It worked. It got me a pretty good score. But when I said, give me the index here, just go through it. And each time you don't get it, continue until the unique number of pizza ingredients is run out. So that got me a pretty good score. And I haven't tried to optimize it anymore because running the program just takes a lot of time. So this is giving me last ingredients, both of these, and let's say it gives me one less ingredient, or 0, or 10. And if it's more than 0, what it does here, as I said, this has list of different number of ingredient pizzas, and I'm updating that each time for each team. So I'm telling it to be different from the last ingredient that I got. And finally, I get to add a pizza to the list. And when I get, it could be 2 here, it could be 3, it could be 4. And when I get that, I return it. And when I return it, I delete it from the list so that I can do this again for the next team. So this is the core of the solution. We run this for each team depending on the team type. We delete the pizzas in the main object. We add them to the delivery. I can print it out. I'm going to show you that. And then one team has been fed and so on, because it's a while loop. As long as teams are left, it will loop through it. But even if they have not been fed, this -1 happens because I want it to go to the next one. Otherwise, it would loop continuously. So then this is the team of 3 people. If there are pizza left, if there are people in the team, let's do this. And it's basically the same thing, and for the team of 2 people, and then the output. Let me show you what I changed in the read file. This order by for the pizza ingredients, and again this order by. When you order by something, it is easier to deal with them. Let's run my favorite file so that you can see what it looks like. This is a percentage. This is the total number of teams, and this is how many teams are being fed right now. Team of 3 people. This was running each time, but this one here is running every 31 that's being delivered. That's team of 2 people. And there you have it. It's not always 100% delivery, especially not for the first 2 files. Let's submit this. As you can see, mine has already got a score, and it's different from the one that I'm claiming my solution to have, because I tried different solutions, and even the brute force one got a better score for the B one than one that I have. Depending on what solution you're using, the scores change. Here's a horror story. Make sure you submit the correct zip file, because it's better to be honest. There we go. That's a score. It's not a higher score because it's the score that I got last time. And that's it. When you submit each time, your best score is saved. So don't worry if your next method may shave off a few points on a file but add to another file. Like I said, this is already on GitHub. You can check it, you can run each files. You can debug it, you can change it. I hope you share a screenshot of your submission with me. I'll know that I motivated one person to participate in this coding competition. Let's go to the next segment. Tips and tricks for participating in Google Hashcode 2021. First, make sure you solve the practice problem. It shows you the type of problems that you will face in the actual competition. It prepares you to know how you think. It prepares your team members. It also helps you know which parts are necessary and understand the problem statement. I encourage you to look at the previous year's problems. I'm sure there are solutions on GitHub, on YouTube. It will help you be more prepared. Also, training helps everyone in the team to be on the same page, to know their roles, because I'm going to try and give each of my team members a role so that we are more efficient. If someone's job is to write code, we're not going to task them with coming up with too much ideas because maybe they are debugging a problem. If someone's task is setting up the input file and the output file, maybe the other ones are solving it on a whiteboard or on paper. When coding, make sure you read and understand the problem statement for at least 20 minutes. Because if you do not understand the problem statement, you're not going to be able to solve it. If everyone in your team doesn't have an idea of the problem, someone has to explain it each time, and that's going to waste time because you only have 4 hours. Another important thing that I hope my solution helps is to make sure your read and write methods are ready, and then you can modify it depending on the problem. Back in 2019, we hurried and put a Frankenstein of a read file, and then our write file was horrible and we got 0. The first time I participated in this coding competition, I got 0, and I remember going home and just being happy that everyone participated in this for the first time. It didn't matter that I got 0. I was just happy that I got to think about a problem and try to solve it, and other people got points, and overall it was a really interesting environment. When you have your input and output methods ready, you'll have more time to optimize the solution. Another really important thing is to take breaks. Take at least one break to maybe just take a walk or to eat something or talk with your teammates. That's just about something different, because when I was solving this practice problem, I spent 6 hours on it just looking at the screen, and then when I got up, maybe it took me like 10 minutes to come up with a different idea. So when you leave your screen at least once, your brain is going to process it. But when you're looking at your cursor blinking at you, it's just make sure you set time for things. Running the bigger files take a lot of time. My solution, I think it took my computer half an hour to run this file. So know that your last 30 minutes is going to be you waiting for your file to finish running. So do not wait until last minute to change something in your algorithm. Don't be too hard on yourself. If this is your first time, if this is your second time, if this is your 100th time, we're in a pandemic. It's okay if you don't get an amazing score. The last time I solved the practice problem, I think it took me like 3 hours. This time, it took me 4 sessions in a week, and I'm not embarrassed. I wasn't happy about it, but now I'm proud because I'm sharing this with you, and I'm telling you that, yes, I'm a professional software engineer, but that doesn't mean that I'm great at coding competitions, because that's just another thing. It's like being smart at exams. Coding competitions need practice, they need time, they need experience. So don't be hard on yourself. And last point, have fun. First time doing this is not easy. Like I said, I got a 0, but the spirit of joining a team and solving a problem that has no real life consequence is just so much fun. Getting 0, getting 1, getting a billion. Enjoy the ride. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I encourage you to try and participate in a coding competition, because this was my first coding competition and this year is going to be my 3rd time. I'm going to share my results on Twitter when the actual qualification rounds happen. I hope you're going to participate in this competition, and I'd like it if you share it with me. If you're looking for team members, you can check on Twitter, you can check on Facebook. If you have any questions, share them in the comments or ask me on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Happy coding!